in Cleveland for the first time since 1997. Akron natives LeBron James and Steph Curry in action. Team Durant without their captain, who did not attend the game after the passing of his grandmother. As always, defense not on the menu here, but the chef cooked up a monster 50-point game before LeBron put the exclamation point on the night with a turnaround jumper to clinch the 163-160 W for Team LeBron.
Winner.
He's a two-time league MVP, a three-time NBA champion, and an eight-time All-Star. From the Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry is absolutely the winner here because he wasn't given the warm welcome. It was in Cleveland. Of course they're not going to cheer for a Warrior star, but 16 three-pointers later, 50 points later, he earned some cheers. Steph Curry, just the second player in All-Star game history with a 50-point game, which earned him his first All-Star game MVP. The resume just continues to impress.
Yeah, as always. And the resume is continuing to impress. Speaking of, John Morant also a winner for some of the threes he put up. Just you can stop and appreciate some of these highlights we're showing to you from the All-Star game from John Morant. Three
good.
Field goals for the first time All-Star, and then, some monster jams. Man, where was John Saturday night? Look at this. Just unbelievable. There is Ja.
Why was he not in the dunk contest? I'm with you, Shae. We need him.
Need him.
Go for the culture. Save the dunk contest. Loser, do the wave. The NBA honored its 75 greatest players, which gave us some memorable moments, but some couldn't make it, so they recorded these videos of them waving.
So bad.
It looks like they're awkwardly waving. It looks like they're being held captive of sort. Like, hey, can you just wave for 45 seconds? We'll clip the best 10.
And half of them weren't even looking at the camera. Like, these are good ones that were actually looking at the camera. Half of them were looking elsewhere and had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, also, Scottie Pippen, coward. You should have shown up.
I agree with you. Loser, speaking of, awkward encounters. Here we go. Former teammates Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen don't have a lot of love for each other anymore, clearly. Look at this. KG ignoring Ray Allen as he's being announced for AllStar Weekend.
Let it go, KG.
Yeah, so petty.
Winner, Jordan's big weekend. First was MJ's 59th birthday on Friday. Then on Sunday, MJ flew to Daytona to watch 2311 Racing member Bubba Wallace place second in the Daytona 500. Then flew to Cleveland, probably by coach, to the NBA All-Star game where he shared a hug with the GOAT Jr. and LeBron, reunited with old teammates Dennis Rodman and challenged Magic to one-on-one.
That's old dog right there. Boy, where you shooting at? We go play one-on-one, me and you right now. Damn.
I love that. MJ going at MJ.
MJ is always going to remain competitive. I feel good here. Chris Paul receives the Kobe and Gigi Bryant Award. He's the first recipient of the award. It's the Kobe and Gigi Bryant WNBA Advocacy Award. The honor is significant contributions to the advancement of girls and women's hoops, along with the advocacy for the WNBA. The league and Vanessa Bryant will present Paul with the award and did so at the NBA All-Star game on Sunday night in Cleveland.
Speaking of Chris Paul, some bad news that came prior to the All-Star game last night. Paul will be out for 6 to 8 weeks because of a fracture in his right thumb. A source confirmed to ESPN. The injury, awful news to the best team in the NBA, as CP3 will most likely be out the remaining regular season schedule. The regular season ends 7 weeks from Sunday. That's on April 10th. The playoffs begin on April 16th. Devin Booker spoke on losing their floor general.
I'd rather have him in. Now we have to figure it out, man. Everybody has to give a little bit more. I look at the beauty in it. He gets to rest his legs. He gets to get ready for a long postseason, that we're trying to make happen. So, we got to hold it down without him. We got to hold the fort down. And, I'm sure coach is already coming over some game plans and schemes to, try to make it work without him out there.
All right, so obviously this is unfortunate news, Jay, for the Phoenix Suns, who, as we said, have the best record in the NBA. They've built up a 7-game lead in the loss column. I mean, they have put together a really good resume with a little bit of pad now. So they could, I guess, afford to lose CP3. But now the brunt of it's going to fall on Devin Booker here the remainder of the way. Yeah,
campaign needs to get healthy. They might need to look at the buyout market, see if they can find a veteran presence at the guard position to keep them afloat for the next 2 months. Elfrid Payton's going to have to elevate his play, certainly. A guy that's never fully recognized his talent in this league could be a moment for him. I just think about, look, by no means is Chris Paul Anthony Davis, where he can't seem to stay healthy ever. But there has been moments throughout Chris Paul's career where it's been not the most ideal time, and he's had injuries. I think about, last season when he got hurt in the Western Conference Finals and, returned, but in those NBA finals, if he was 100%, maybe they win that title. He didn't look like his full self. So when he comes back from this injury, he's a pro. He's going to stay with his conditioning. But will he be operating at the same level he is, where he's leading the league in assists right now? Can he still be the Chris Paul that he's been up to this point? That will be a question. This is a Phoenix team that a lot of people think can win it this year, but they're going to need an 100% Chris Paul to do so, Shae. No question about it.
You talk about those untimely injuries, and my goodness, this Chris Paul had abundance of them. You think of that. You think of last season. He had COVID last season as well. But then how about when he was with the Rockets and that hamstring injury that basically robbed what James Harden is still chasing, and CP3 really, that ring? Like, we never know what could have been had he been healthy in that 2018 Western Conference Finals against the Warriors. I mean, we don't need to split hairs here, but I'm just saying the untimely, the terrible injuries have just been not good for Chris Paul. So I hope he comes back healthy, can get that rhythm and chemistry going when he does. I do want to point this out, though. This fracture that he has in his finger and his thumb is the same one Jimmy Garoppolo had at the end of the season. He ended up missing 1 week, and we know how the Niners season went in the postseason, okay? He led the team to an NFC championship game. So I'm not saying everyone's different, obviously, in how they handle injuries. But that's some good news and something that we've seen lately, an athlete at the highest level overcome that in a shorter amount of time. So hopefully CP3 can do this.
Let me tell you what Phoenix Suns fans are doing when you mention that. Cringing. Because Jimmy G is not a name you want to be compared to when you're a Hall of Famer like Chris Paul, especially when the Niners are like, that guy's not good enough, let's get rid of him.
I think
see what you're trying to do there? I don't know if I love it.
But do you see my point in the fact that there was still a quarterback who played through it? I'm not saying that let him get healthy for the postseason, but it can be done if he needs to come back sooner rather than later.
As for Chris Paul's injury letting down the Rockets back then, certainly. But James Harden, maybe do a little bit more in that Game 7 if you're a true Hall of Famer. Maybe you should deliver. I feel good about Devin Booker and this Suns squad being able to keep this group above water and Chris Paul coming back. What they do in the postseason, though, can they finish what they started last season? We'll see.
All right, superlatives now from AllStar Weekend, and we're going to start here with most likely to join WWE. This one goes to Bill Walton after he did this to Monica McNutt.
I want it to be known that I've never lost to Dominique Wilkins, and I don't intend to change that historical record tonight.
Now, if you see Monica McNutt pull it back, that's because rule number 1 in broadcasting is never let someone take your mic.
That's right, Shae. Most likely to be the Knicks' new point guard. Another one. It's got to be DJ Khaled after he dribbles his way through the skills competition setup, only to appropriately finish the play like we all knew he would. Oxygen. Complete air ball in the jump shot.
And another one. The most Bo Jackson-esque Myles Garrett stole the show. Duncan some more. Jay, you appreciate the block?
Yeah, I appreciate the physique, too.
As Notre Dame's all-time leading shot blocker.
Talk to him.
He's got some ups, does Myles Garrett. Capped off with a windmill dunk at the end of the night. Pretty impressive, buddy.
Horrible for the rim. Biggest surprise has to be Cat Daddy winning the three-point contest. Karl Anthony Towns was absolutely electric. A record-setting 29 points in the final round to beat Trae Young and Luke Kennard. He's the first big to ever win the three-point contest. Excuse me, Kevin Love did do it in 2012. He also did this, the really cool part, Shae, wearing a chain in honor of his late mother, Jacqueline.
I love it.
And the NBA allowed that because you're not supposed to wear jewelry in those competitions.
Right, I love that. This needs improvement. What are we doing, Scotty Barnes? We keep missing shot and more shots.
He's used to dunking that.
And more shots.
It's not going to happen again, though.
5 in a row. Yeah, you think it's not going to happen, and then it happens again.
Oh, no.
Come on, buddy.
Oh, why?
I mean, what are we doing?
Biggest letdown, Shae, wasn't that, oddly enough. It was the dunk contest. It was trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. The entire contest, it's not what it used to be. I know the saying is, at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. But to what end? Ton of missed attempts. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
So sad.
Not been left in the competition because he knew he wasn't going to miss much. Cole Anthony, Jalen Green, Obi Toppin, Juan Toscano-Anderson, all very forgettable.
Yeah, not good.
So I was kind of thinking, Shae, I fashion myself as a fixer. If there's a problem, you call on me. I get it done. So this segment is fix that for you. I don't have my toolkit with me. Sorry, Shae. I know that's a fantasy of yours for me to be in my birthday suit.
All right, get to it.
Okay, I digress. Here's how you're going to fix a dunk contest, and it's really simple. There's two ways to go with this. You can go grab star power, right? Because you think back to what was one of the most electric dunk contests 6 long years ago now was Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. That was in 2016, and that was incredible. After that, you got to go back like 16-some years to remember Vince Carter and the Vinsanity, the magic he created. These were legitimate stars. So what you can do is say, hey, John Morant, Anthony Edwards, we'll donate $1 million to your charity just to get you to perform in this. You throw charity in it, it might get them to decide to do it. And if you can't go that route, here's my best other I'll fix it for you option. So people don't know a lot about this, but there's something called professional dunkers in the world. Guy Dupuis out of Paris, Jordan Kilgannon out of Canada, and Isaiah Rivera out of America. So there's a global vibe to this. Maybe allow these professional dunkers, who seemingly do it better than professional dunkers, give them the platform in the All-Star game. And fine, if you still feel like you need NBA star power, that's cool. Why don't we do the professional dunkers versus the professionals? So keep that crop of talent that we had in the dunk contest this year, albeit not the biggest stars. Jalen Green probably the biggest star in that group, or Obi Toppin. That's fine, keep them. Use that pool of dunkers and have them compete against the professional dunkers. And here's how you get past the missed dunk and, if they get it the second time, the wow factor's gone. That's fine. You take 4 professional dunkers. Guy Dupuis and those guys can add 1 more professional dunker. He's out there. They're a team of 4. They go against the professionals. That's a group of 4. The best dunk that comes from it in the round advances for the team. So the 4 NBA dunkers get their go. Whoever executes the best dunk, that's the one that gets graded. Same for the professional dunkers, and you move it through 3 rounds. You'll get some of the craziest dunks. You have the NBA flavor. You have the wow factor of the professional dunkers, and the odds will be greater to deliver a moment. We love cheering for the underdog. You get that as well. Sounds like I may have fixed the dunk contest.
Woo!
A 10 from the judges?
10.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.